Major Halberg, thank you very much for speaking to us today. I'm just going to ask you a few questions about the Swedish Modernisation programme.
Yep.
And firstly, I'd like to ask you, what are the three biggest challenges for the programme and for the Swedish Army over the next 12 to 18 months?
I would say the soldier load is the biggest challenge, as we have heard during these days that everybody is struggling with the same issue, and so that will be number one, to decrease the soldier load. And after that, I think it will be the heat stress, since we're still in Afghanistan and we're suffering from problems, maybe not all the time aware of the problem, but we're very close to tip over the top of the heat stress curve. And third of all is probably total integration with the soldier vehicles, battle management system, and the fully complex integration.
Well, you mentioned heat stress in your presentation. What are the main things that you're doing on the requirement side to combat heat stress in Afghanistan, for example?
We try to look on all the equipment, of course, but I think the key issue with the heat stress is actually to find the right TTPs and perform some kind of a checklist for the commanders to decrease the time of marching, have longer breaks in the shadows, and be able to open up the equipment, because many of the ballistic equipment are like a plastic bag. They won't breathe anything or evaporate any of your sweat. So it's more or less on the TTP area, I'd say. And then of course we're looking at cooling vests as well and stuff like that. See what the industry could perform.
And I guess on that point about industry developing new products, is there anything over the next couple of years, sort of in the medium term, that you can see as being a major challenge for soldier modernisers like yourself? Anything new?
I would say that power consumption is one of the biggest problems, and if we could actually find the small fuel cell or the small battery that weigh close to nothing and still could power up the system, that would be the biggest invention from my perspective.
And from the smaller suppliers, they're usually the ones who are bringing innovation to the soldier programs. Can you name perhaps two or three things that you've seen over the last year that have really stood out, that have really made a difference?
I would say reduced ballistic plates, weight and ballistic plates, and there are some industries doing quite good work in that area. And we've also seen the fuel cells, the different types of fuel cells being smaller and smaller, and they are actually today portable, not man-carried as there was a couple of years ago. And of course, making magazines for the assault rifle in some kind of polymer or plastics is one of the big stuffs the last couple of years, I would say.
Okay, and how do you see the troop drawdown in Afghanistan? How do you see that affecting soldier modernisers like yourself?
I would say we'll still be around, and you still have to have a focus on the soldier, even if it's not in Afghanistan. It's could be the national mission to take care of your borders and stuff like that. Or the next mission might be in Africa. What do I know? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure that the soldier is still the main part of the armed forces, and we have to take care of that in a soldier modernization in some way.
That echoes the thoughts of Mark Richter from MERS in the US Marines, so yeah. I guess that seems to be a major point across all programs, which is good.
Yeah.
Well, Major Halberg, thank you very much for talking to us today, and thank you of course for your presentation earlier today at Soldier Technology.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.